fixing the truck, I was able to make one rip down the street just to make sure the trans went through all 3 gears. Unfortunately, that's all we had time for, so the truck immediately went onto the trailer and we headed to Dragway 42 so we could take on the rewind presented by D-Team Racing. I'd never been to Dragway 42 before, but the facility was beautiful and I was with my friends, so I knew we were going to have a good time regardless. The fact of the matter is, the Brooklyn Dodger was running, we had nitrous, it had all 3 gears, and I was ready to learn something.
Allegedly, I'm driving the Falcon first round.
Tommy, does that mean you're getting in the Dodger?
Hooked up. Scramble's hooked up? Yep, right there.
All the racing at the rewind was right off the trailer, and I was about to learn a valuable lesson about all-night thrashing right in round 1. Right before I pulled into the burnout box, the truck had blown a fuse. I'm not really sure why I decided to blow a fuel pump fuse at that moment, but I had to do what I had to do to get the truck into the burnout box, running and ready to go. There was a little delay before us doing our burnouts where they had shut down the track. I had to tell Billy, we got to keep this thing running because I've got no clue what's going on, and I feel like if I shut it off, it might not start up again.
Well, that was his burnout. He can't do any more burnout.
Everybody was so worried about me not doing any more burnout, but I was more worried about why in the world did the truck just shut off and why won't it start up again.
20 on left!
That's a good bet. I'll take it.
Now, as it turns out, during the whole night before and thrashing and doing everything we could to get the truck back together again, somehow some wires had gotten moved, pinched up, and laid across a spot they weren't supposed to be. So, in the middle of the burnout, wires shorted out and blew just about every fuse in that fuse panel. I messed with it for a little bit, couldn't quite figure out why I was still having issues, and decided, you know what, it's best to just send the guy in the other lane and not waste any more of anybody's time. My shit just wasn't together and it wasn't ready. I was pretty upset about the situation, having to push the truck back off the line. I had worked so hard and spent so much time this week between traveling from Delaware, getting the truck ready, taking Bill's last minute advice on the transmission, replacing it. I just really wanted to go out there and make one pass because I wanted to see it, and I knew some people had traveled to see the Dodger too.
What's wrong with it?
He said it blew the fuel pump fuse, and then he yanked a random fuse out of somewhere else and put it in the fuel pump fuse, so he doesn't really know what fuse he took out. So it's probably bad. I don't know. Never figured out.
After several trips back and forth to the pits for a jump box, tools, and everything else, I finally found the wires, moved them, and got it fired back up again.
Oh, is it? Oh, fuck yeah. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but it's running longer than it has been, so we're moving in the right direction. Right.
This was the first time I'd ever used the Holley Terminator X on a drag race application, and it was literally running on the startup tune and just a really soft nitrous ramp that I had thrown in there. I decided since the truck was running and driving, I'd maybe baby throttle it out a little bit and see what it does from there.
It shifted.
Needs more power.
More cowbell.
More power. I don't know what his timing's at, but it sounds pretty low.
Billy was right. The timing was low. Everything was low, really. But now that I had some confidence in the truck that it would go down the track, I figured it was time to start turning it up. I also figured out that this is the first time I've had power brakes in the truck for a very, very long time. So if you saw at the end of the track there, I kind of locked them up a little bit. I was so used to jamming on the non-power brakes that when I jammed on them this time, they locked clear up. But a little bit of common sense, and we got it done. Saw the draggy time, wasn't impressed, decided to go start turning it up and making some better hits. We were obviously still having an issue with timing and fueling in the burnout in the second hit, but I'll get it figured out eventually. I was feeling a little bit more confident after making that second hit. We still had ramp was relatively easy, and I hadn't figured out the burnout yet, but I knew that if I just kept at it, I'd eventually figure this thing out. Shout out to that woman who thought I was Jeepers Creepers. By the third pass, I had got the burnout figured out, but I was trying to brake boost on the line, and that just didn't really work out. It was pushing through the converter. I could tell, though, that every pass was getting faster and faster even before I looked at the draggy, so I was feeling much better about the way the night was going. Unfortunately, I hadn't lined up with anybody yet, just because it didn't work out that way in test and tune, but the next pass I finally get to go side by side.
I think that's going to be it for tonight. So things did not go as planned. We had a very, very hard weekend. It's been a very hard week, but if you stay persistent and keep on working, it'll probably reward you. Tonight was the first night that I've ever used the Holley Terminator X for drag racing. I just threw it in, you know, for Cletus and Cars and just ran it how it was. Tonight I did my first attempt at tuning it a little bit. I consistently tuned it round after round after round. First time I've ever used a nitrous progressor. Tuned that round after round after round. We had problems early on. I couldn't get it to do a burnout. We fixed that problem. We're doing burnouts now. It was kicking to the side a little bit, so we got to kind of figure that out, get that sorted. But you know, we made progress. I can tell you this, it was a long, stressful, hard weekend, but Tommy made it to the finals, which was incredible. And I guess I can tell you guys this, we made the fastest pass the Dodger has ever made. Faster than No Prep Kings, not by much, but we did it, and we did it off of the new trains that Bill hooked me up with. Joshua Peak and his dad rebuilt the trans because there was, and I'll have to explain, there's a whole story behind this weekend and how everything unfolded, and there's a lot. But we were so busy working, maybe I didn't get to film as much of it as I would have liked to have. But Joshua Peak and his dad, Bill's brother coming through with parts, Brad from Snake Eater, you know, making sure my injectors were here, you know, everybody, Gina making sure my shirts were here, like everybody pitched in. Most importantly, Mallory kicked ass this weekend. She did an incredible job all week long, all weekend long, and to be honest with you, I kept turning the truck up, I definitely think we can turn it up more. I don't think that's going to be an issue. There's a lot more left in it. I feel confident in saying that. I feel confident that we should fix some things and make them work a little bit better so we don't have issues like we did in round one, because, you know, I still don't think I could have won Shitbox class after watching the final, but I can tell you I probably could have gone rounds had I had my shit together. So, you know, I just can't say enough. Billy, Tommy, Bill, everybody at the house, Vicky, helped out, made this weekend incredible. You know, tomorrow's Sunday. I think we might just go kick it on the lake. We're gonna put the truck on the trailer. It's in one piece, minus the fender came off, but we made passes. I learned, we had fun, had a lot of high stress situations, and unfortunately, you know, my fuse, well, the fuses in the truck blew and my fuse blew a little bit, but it happens. We've been going so hard for so long and wanted this, you know, to work so bad that I can't even explain it. So on the end note of this, it was an awesome weekend surrounded by awesome people. I didn't get to make it out to Cincy Street nights, but I got to spend time with my second family. I got to see a lot of people in Ohio that I haven't seen in a long time, and we had fun. Now, everything's a learning process. We're gonna learn. We'll make it work better. Tommy, you the man, dog.
You taking a video?
Damn right.
Listen. This dude stayed up till 3 last night.
Oh,
got his shit together. Came out, no complaints, no bitching, no crying. Put it on the starting line. something happened, doesn't work, but guess what? He keeps going.
Kept going and went the fastest the Dodgers ever gone to.
Hell yeah.
So.
Fuck yeah.
That's it. That's what it takes.
It's a fucking victory today. I don't care.
Right. I think you went the fastest that thing's ever gone too, huh?
Yep.
Damn right.
Everybody's fucking.
Everybody's personal best. So, but that's what it takes. You gotta work. You gotta not be. You can't quit. You gotta be willing to work through all the bullshit. I could have gone out round one, realized this thing was a turd, put it on the trailer, and called it a night. But I'm really glad that I did because everything worked out for the best. Let's go get some food.
Dude, I was flying.
I want some food.
Waffles.
Waffles. Hey, babe, come here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Say bye to the people.
Bye to the people.
Anybody like left lane?
After I was done test and tuning, it was time for the final. I was really proud of Tommy for how much ass he had kicked that night, and super proud of Billy. Them two guys have been doing all the work to this Falcon, and doing it all themselves. Billy's incredibly smart behind that keyboard, and they really showed. Unfortunately, Tommy didn't take home the money that night, but he still made a hell of a showing. The next day was pretty special for me. Now, I know this has nothing to do with racing or anything else, but this is pretty personal for me. Ever since I was a kid, I've wanted to try wakeboarding. And that Sunday, me, Billy, Tommy, Molly, Allison, the kids, Josh, all got to go out on the boat, and I got to try wakeboarding for the first time ever. Apparently I'm a natural, because I was able to get up on the board pretty dang quickly.
That's awesome.
And I've never had an opportunity, and then we got an opportunity today, and I did it.
You're a pro, man.
That's so awesome.
I want you to know, when I was at Billy's house earlier, you acted like you weren't gonna go. I wasn't leaving until you went.
Yeah, this is awesome.
All right.
But exhausting, so let's switch this up.
I know a lot of people say that they live the race car life, but the Hoskinson family truly does. And until you experience it firsthand, days on end, never quitting, and see just how much work these folks put in, I don't think you'd ever get it. So days like today are really special, because we don't always get an opportunity to screw off and have fun. It was a beautiful day at the lake. We all got to have fun, go swimming, go off the rope swing. The kids had a blast, and I couldn't think of a better way to end the weekend.